Hey, Whitetail 85. Filming in the garage today, a little bit of change from the basement. I want to do a unboxing review, overview of a new game cam I just picked up. And here it is, it's the Moultrie D-555i camera. Up to 8 megapixels. You actually have 4 settings. You can go 1 meg, 2, 4, and 8, depending on the quality of your picture, how long you're going to leave your camera out in the field, and how many pictures you want to take. And when I'm setting my cameras up, I usually set it for the highest quality. In this case, it'll be the 8 meg, just because you can fit so many pictures these days on the SD cards. It does take up to a 32 gig card, so you certainly can fit an enormous amount of pictures on there. So let's get into this a little bit as I'm opening the box up. Just gonna talk about it for a little bit. This is one of the no glow cameras, so there's no flash and there's no red glow when the camera is actually taking the pictures. It has the black front. Let's get the instructions out here. You also do have a Moultrie sticker if you want to put that on your car for some reason. I'm probably going to maybe put it on my toolbox or something like that, I think. So we have our book here, a couple languages. It almost looks like French to me. It doesn't look like Spanish as far as the dual instructions. But it does give you a good setup. So really this is what you get. You get your camera, you get the strap, and your instruction book. And that is, of course, that's what's in the box. And again, this is a 90-degree, supposedly. So when you're actually taking the pictures, it's a 90-degree instead of the 45 that some of the other cameras would take. I could actually have 2 cameras going up at once on the same tree, so we can compare the pictures. One of my older, and it's the same brand, Moultrie. Let's just do some daytime pics, even if it's squirrels and maybe a fox or 2 that we have. I'm going to set this out behind the house. But let's go back into the camera again. Again, 90-degree view that we'll do a little bit of comparison on. And it does have a Illuminate sensor in there that's supposed to provide some clear, bright pictures, the IR pictures at night. Again, if you haven't used those, they do come out in black and white. And the key to the brightness on there is having fresh batteries. If you don't have fresh batteries in your camera, they're always going to seem a little bit on the dim side. So that's the biggest thing for those nighttime cameras that I've found. The IR type nighttime cameras, as the battery drains, the quality of your nighttime image is going to degrade. On the photo itself, it's going to have a strip that's going to give you the barometric pressure, the moon phase, the temperature, time, date, and the camera ID. If you want to label your cameras, you have 2 or 3 out there, you want to know which one this one came from. One nice thing, the pictures are 16:9 widescreen. So normally you see the 4:3 ratio in your pictures, but this is 16:9. The video is 720p with sound. So if you're taking, say, maybe some coyotes or maybe some turkeys, you get some nice sound in there. Also, on the inside, take a quick look, has a 2-inch viewing screen in here. So if you want to preview your pictures, and say you're at camp, or you're at your car, or you're at the tree itself where you hung it on, you want to do a little preview of what you got, you can use the 2-inch screen as a preview, and you can also use that when you're setting the camera up on the tree to know what angle to put it at. So it's actually serves a bit of a dual function, which is pretty nice. Again, here's your IR, your infrared, and again behind that dark on the outside. So hopefully either deer or bear won't notice that it's there. Have a multi-shot feature. You want to take from 1 to 10 shots. Normally I'll do 2 or 3 with mine, 2 or 3 shot burst. Because if you get a deer, sometimes you want to get the angle, they're moving their head, and you're looking at their rack. It's kind of nice to have a 2 or 3 shot burst. You get the delay on the pictures themselves are 1 to 30 minutes. So if you wanted to, normally I set mine to about 5 minutes because that's just the way I do it. take a 2 or 3 shot burst, one every 5 minutes, and that seems to be a nice kind of a setting for me that works out pretty good. It does have 4 operational modes. You have, of course, the IR, the infrared triggered camera. You got a time lapse on this in case you want to put it on a food plot. You want to see what happens all day. HD video day and night, a camera by day and the infrared camera by night. The one thing about using time lapse is very battery intensive. So if you're going to put a time lapse out there and you're going to come back here, you're going to find your batteries are drained quickly. If you are not using, say, like a solar charger on it or rechargeable batteries, that time lapse can get very expensive on there. And really up to you with how you want to set it. But if you are going to use time lapse, I definitely would recommend getting the rechargeable batteries with the solar charger accessory that you can buy for the camera itself. Underneath does have a couple of one for the accessory if you want to plug in some different batteries into it. They actually have a battery pack you can put on the ground that lasts longer, and it also has a USB. So if you want to just take it in and go straight to USB on your PC itself, you can certainly do that. SD memory slot in there. It does not come with a memory card, but these days they're fairly cheap to get. It takes the 6C, so you can see it's a smaller camera, not quite down to the AA size camera, but the 6Cs, which is actually, I think, kind of a nice intermediate size between the larger camera and the smaller ones that take just the AA batteries. So I think this is a pretty good compromise. You do see the pretty nice camo pattern on that. Hopefully it'll be not quite as noticeable on the tree. It does have a feature on the back where you can loop a lock through it. So if you want to lock that to a tree, public land, that's always tough because there's people out there that see a camera, they want to take it, unfortunately. This is password protected. You can't password protect it, so if somebody did take it, they couldn't get into it, but again, you're out the camera, so the password really doesn't do that much for you. Again, we have the strap, one single strap to put this on, so we're not using bungees on this one. Just the strap goes through some loops on the back and right on your camera around the tree. Looks like it'll be a pretty good lock on there. It's got a pretty tight grip on that loop right there. And again, your instructions just does tell you how to set your camera up to whatever of those 4 modes that you want. Again, I'm going to just set mine up to take normal straight pictures. I am going to set my feeder up, put a little bit of this. This is Whitetail Institute Big Time Fortified Deer Blend. It has corn, has some milo in it, has some sunflower seeds. I purchased this from Tractor Supply and just saw it there recently when I went. Again, this is supposed to be bigger herd, bigger deer, bigger racks. At this point, it's going to just feed the deer, it's going to attract the deer. Of course, this is September, so racks are not going to grow at this point. They're done, and most likely they're out of velvet at this point. So it's certainly not going to help the size of the rack. I will go ahead and set this up. One thing about this, I'll show you the battery compartment. It has a nice eject button where you slide your batteries out, and you have an actual tray to put your batteries in. So let's go ahead and might as well fire the camera up now. Put the batteries in there. Putting them into the tray. And loading the camera, opening it up, sliding that in there. And our batteries are in. And on our 2-inch screen here, we have the setup guide. It's in photo mode. Just plugged in the 8 gig memory card. Battery life 99%. Estimated time on that battery 40 days. So I'll turn the camera off for a couple minutes and set this up to take day and nighttime pictures, probably in 2-shot bursts at 5 minutes apart, and hang it up on that tree. So next time you see me, it'll be out there behind my house. Setting this up with the other camera that I have out there to do a little bit of comparison. And again, let's take a look up close here. So we've got the corn, the milo, the sunflower seed,
shelled sunflower seed already, a couple in there. So that's what we have in that mix right there. And again, looking very close to bird seed almost. So there we go. We'll put the lid on this, and we'll use this feeder to attract hopefully something. Not a deer, at least something that we can get a good idea on how the pictures compare and how they just look in general. So there's the Wild Game Innovations Monster P feeder that we'll be using to try to attract something, and hopefully there'll be a deer around or two. If you want to go ahead and see a full review on this, I have a couple out there actually. Pretty good feeder, small feeder. You're just trying to do a little bit. Again, this is right behind the house here, so they're very easy to get to and keep full if I need it. That's a nice spinner we'll use to go ahead and try to attract a few things. So let's get those cameras set up. Well, here's the old Moultrie camera that I have. I've been out in the woods a pretty long time. Still going pretty good. Might be a 5 meg camera. You can certainly see the size difference between the two. This takes D batteries. Again, this is the C battery. But as far as size comparison wise, certainly a pretty big difference. Well, hopefully nobody bothers the cameras. If you're out there and you see one, you go past it, maybe make a funny face or something like that, and keep going. Somebody takes a lot of time and effort in there. Just leave that camera alone out there. That's all I can really say about that. So let me get this one hooked up to the tree. Switch it over to aim. It has come on, and we're actually taking a looking back here at what the camera would actually take. Zoom in there, see if you can see it. And there it is. But as you can see, this is what the camera is going to take. So it's actually set up fairly well. So we're good there. So let's just go ahead and turn that to on. Close her up. And here they go. So let's leave this out here. Hopefully it's only going to take one day to get some half decent pictures, and anywhere from 110 to 160 for this particular camera. So it really depends on the site that you go to. So do some comparison shopping out there and get your best deal if you're interested in this one. Here's my setup. Got the feeder, got the cameras in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a spin, get some feet on the ground here. Pretty nice smell out of that, the big Tine mix. Again, I really wish this was available earlier in the year. Certainly would have used it up the cabin in Pennsylvania. So hopefully we'll get some good pictures, and we'll go ahead and review those next.
Here's the picture from the new camera. As you can see, wide angle type lens. The trees are distorted a little bit, but it does give you a very good view of what you're looking at. We can see the strip on the bottom with the information when the picture was taken. Here's the old camera, the old Moultrie. We can see the ratio is 4:3, and we certainly cannot see as wide as the other one. So that widescreen, even though it is distorting it, you're certainly getting a better view of what you're looking at, a wider view. There may be a deer or something just out of the range of the camera that this new Moultrie camera, the D-55i or D-555i, would pick up. And here's a nighttime image or late evening image, as you can see, in black and white, as they would be. Same quality as we saw during the day. Unfortunately didn't have any animals, critters, deer, etc. To show, but still shows you that it does have a nice quality view, a large view. So I would certainly give this camera a good rating. This is Whiterock 85 signing out from the Delmarva Peninsula today, again with the Moultrie D-555i digital game camera, and good luck to everyone with this upcoming hunting season.